That email, the one that kicks off with, "Thank you for your interest," and just twists your stomach into knots by the end. We regret to inform you, yeah, those few words can feel like a punch to the gut, right? Leaving you staring at your screen thinking, okay, what now? If that sounds painfully familiar, then you are definitely in the right place. Because that rejection is not the end of the road. Believe it or not, it can be a pretty powerful new beginning. Forget what you have heard about this brushing off a job rejection. We are not talking about simply getting back on the horse here. We are diving into real, actionable ways to turn that awful feeling into actual fuel. What if I told you that how you handle this exact moment could seriously change your career path, maybe even nudge you towards amazing opportunities you wouldn't have stumbled upon or otherwise? Stick with me because I'm about to lay out exactly how. Let's be real for a second. A job rejection is so much more than just a no. It can feel incredibly personal, unleashing a wave of emotions, disappointment, frustration, maybe some anxiety, and a big old dose of self-doubt. Your brain might start playing every single interview detail, making you question your skills, your experience, heck, even your worth. This isn't just about missing out on a job. It feels like a direct hit to your confidence, making you wonder, am I actually good enough? We are all wired with this deep need to belong, and a job rejection can feel like a giant sign saying you don't fit in, or that who you are isn't quite right. That emotional hit is real, and you absolutely shouldn't sweep it under the rug. It's okay to feel that sting. In fact, letting yourself feel it is the very first step to bouncing back even stronger. So how do you go from feeling totally defeated to feeling empowered and ready to go again? It's all about using some smart techniques. Here's your game plan. Pillar 1, feel it to heal it. Let yourself process those emotions. Before you can even think about moving on, you've got to let yourself actually feel disappointment. Seriously, trying to bottle up those feelings just make it take longer to heal and can really mess with your ability to bounce back. It's perfectly okay to be sad, ticked off, or just plain confused. Give yourself a little time and space to work through it without letting it define who you are. Remember, this one rejection doesn't say a thing about your overall value as a person. Writing it down in a journal or just chatting with a friend or a mentor that you trust can really help too. Pillar 2, the feedback goldmine. Digging for actionable insights. Okay, this one's a biggie. If you got as far as an interview, it's totally fine to politely ask for feedback. A quick email thanking them for their time and asking if they have any insights for you can give you some real gems about where you can improve. Not everyone will respond. Maybe you can get some feedback through a recruiter if one is involved, or even a connection within the company. You're not always going to get it, but when you do, that feedback can be insightful. It can help you see if there were any skill gaps, how your interview came across, or if it was just that someone else had a bit more edge. Use that information to fine-tune your game plan for the next shot. Now, of course, there are also times when the feedback may not be sincere, maybe just an excuse to cover the fact that all along they had an inside candidate, but HR had required that they go through the motion. That can happen. And finally, you could have been rejected, and this happens a lot, not because you weren't the most qualified candidate, but because another qualified candidate connected with them at an emotional level. I'm sure you have heard the scientifically proven saying that people buy emotionally and then they try to justify it logically. If you keep getting invited to interviews but you don't get the offer, it may be time to take your game to the next level by mastering our interview Aikido technology and start influencing interviewers at an emotional level. Because 8 out of 10, this is where the real game is played. Pillar 3, reframe and redirect, turning that no into your next opportunity. Time for a little mental shift. Try to see this rejection less as a personal failure and more as a course correction or a chance to learn something. Honestly, every no really does get you closer to the right yes. It is said that Thomas Edison failed as many as 10,000 times before successfully building the light bulb. He's quoted as saying, rather than failure, he found 10,000 ways it wouldn't work. Maybe this particular role wasn't the absolute perfect fit. And this is just the universe nudging you towards something even better. Take a moment. Did the company culture or the job itself really line up with what you want in the long run? Thinking this way builds up your resilience and keeps you looking forward. In fact, there are a lot of times when your higher self has already determined this is not the right place for you, but your ego is working double to get the offer anyway, because that's how it works. That conflict between your ego and your higher self sometimes is hard to hide and can color your interactions with a potential employer. And frankly, that may be a good thing. Pillar 4, sharpen your tools. Upgrading your search strategy. Take any feedback you got, add your own thoughts, and use it to make your application materials even stronger. Tweak your resume and cover letter to be super specific to the kinds of jobs that you're really after, making sure your best skills and achievements shine. Are you noticing any patterns in the feedback or in the types of roles that aren't quite landing? This might be the perfect nudge to learn a new skill, grab an online course, or get a certification to fill any gaps and make yourself an even hotter candidate. But the most valuable and powerful skill you can develop is to learn how to discover an interviewer's potential objection before you leave the interview. Something you can learn as part of the interview aikido process. An interview aikido will also teach you how to coach an interviewer to potentially overcome their own objections. Because frankly, a lot of times the objections are based on the assumptions or limitations in the way in which the interviewers assess your potential. Pillar number 5, network like a pro. Building bridges even from setbacks. Believe it or not, every single interaction during your job hunt, even a rejection, is a chance to network. If you had a decent chat with the interviewer, send a thank you note and connect with them on LinkedIn. You can mention you're still interested in the company and ask them to keep you in mind for other relevant positions. That kind of professionalism can leave a really good impression and might just open the door later on. Your network can be a goldmine for finding opportunities that don't even get advertised. When you land your job before it is even advertised, you are potentially saving the employer not only thousands of dollars in advertising or recruiting expenses, but also endless hours interviewing other candidates. But there's a lot more to networking your way to your next job, which you can watch in our other videos on this topic. Pillar 6, prioritize you. The power of self-care in the storm. Job hunting is stressful, period. And rejection, that just cranks up the stress dial. So make sure you are doing the things that help you chill out and recharge. Whether it's exercise, meditation, hanging out with people you love, or diving into a hobby, do it. Looking after your mental and physical health is absolutely key to staying resilient and keeping a positive mindset. Remember, your well-being comes first. Pillar 7, if needed, don't go it alone. If you want to make sure that rejections don't pull you down, that your emotions are not getting in the way of objectively analyzing situations for what they really are, and then strategizing for your next move, consider engaging an accountability partner, or even better, a professional, a career coach who is experienced in your type of journey and can also double as a mentor. Someone who is not just lifting you up by their encouragement, but also can speed things up by leveraging their experience and expertise. If any of these pillars hit home for you, do me a favor and hit that like button and subscribe for more strategies to boost your career. I'd also love to hear from you. What's one thing a job rejection has taught you? Drop it in the comments below. That we regret to inform you email, it doesn't get the last word. Job rejection happens to the best of us, but it's how you react that really shapes your journey. When you let yourself process the emotions, actively seek out feedback, reframe the whole experience, sharpen up your strategy, network like you mean it, and truly prioritize your own well-being, you're not just bouncing back, you're gearing up to bounce forward, stronger and more clued in than ever before. That better fit, that more fulfilling role is definitely out there. And these strategies, they are your roadmap to finding it. You've absolutely got this.